Hello there, this is a How It's Going video with Pastor Owen here on Tuesday, July 9th, 2024. We usually take a look at the week into the past, and then also look ahead into what's coming in the present and into the future for the next few days. On Sunday, we enjoyed worship with one another on the 7th Sunday after Pentecost. So the Holy Spirit continues to do work in the here and now. It's sometimes our church calendar can get into, if we get too deep into it, we think it's all some lesson in history. But you should know that God is quite active in His Word today. So hopefully the church calendar doesn't, whether we're in Advent or Epiphany, Lent, Easter, Pentecost, whatever day it might be in the church calendar, it is the day for His living word to be spoken and heard. So hopefully you're hearing that when you go to our church here. So Jesus was kind of rejected in His hometown, but He sent out additional preachers. I send you out, since you've heard the good news, to share this good news of Christ and His mercy, His forgiveness to others as well, in your home and outside of it, in the community as well. The 8th Sunday after Pentecost, we read of kind of a chilling story of John the Baptist's final demise, I guess. He is beheaded. It's a disgusting, crooked story, actually, of King Herod and Herodias, his wife, and then another Herodias that is their daughter together. They want that name for some reason. The name of Herod, I suppose, had power, so they all wanted to have that, at least as the root of the name. Not a lot of Herods around these days. I wouldn't suggest using that, new parents. Anyway, let's take a look at some pictures. Anyway, there is actually a good word that is going to come out on Sunday, even if the words preceding "This is the gospel of the Lord" include a body being laid to rest. We hope a good word will come out. Stay tuned. It's gonna. Okay, let's get some photos. Our junior Lutherans put in quite a few. Did I stop? Our junior Lutherans put in quite a few good, hard days of work. So this was the day we went to the Rock Valley School. This was last Monday by now. Only took a picture at the end of the workday. They were dirtier than even the picture could describe. Quite a serious look, but we carried a lot of heavy doors. We took out a lot of planks of wood from the old gym floor. They had other jobs in there as well. I am thankful that no one got hurt severely. I did have one of the heavy doors was dropped on the other side, and then it was a surprising enough move that I had to drop. It was heavy, and it struck my right thigh in about the most, as it turns out, advantageous spot ever. I really think it could have done structural damage to my body, this heavy door that fell on it, but it happened to get my thigh. Can I still feel the effects of this more than 1 week post drop? Yes, I can. However, it never stood in the way of anything that I really needed to do. There was instant swelling, and it was gnarly. But I was fine. I'm glad The kids were fine as well. This is us in action the next day, serving a meal to the whole community through Mercy Chefs. There were many volunteers. This is about as small of a group as when we were there. We were used to distribute meals throughout the community, take them to the hospital, take them to a rather large daycare as well. We also were used in the assembly line to put the meals together into their styrofoam boxes to serve both right there at the Faith Church and throughout. And people would pick them up from there as well. Some would eat right there. Molly was the head of the operation, and she is an employee of Mercy Chefs. I'm not sure where she was from, but there were some people from all over. Virginia Beach, a young man, now 24, had been working there for 7 years, ever since he was 17. He can't imagine working for another place because, well, you can see the good that is happening through an organization. These were just meals that had to go out. So she had her own system for that and was just a dynamic leader in a way that she would accept more and more volunteers and know precisely what they should do next. We got to go over to Brad and Joanne's on this day as well, and there were quite a few rocks that had been, I mean, the power of water with this whole thing, you know, like moving the earth and even the rocks up with this water to different spots than you would imagine. I mean, there was a lot of water. It did begin to rain. You can see Dylan taking that in, welcoming in that water from the skies at that point, but thankfully we didn't get too much on this day. Sonia got in on some hands and knees, putting rocks into buckets. The kids did a really nice job, and then even got treats in the garage. We shared a liturgy as well. Good to pray in these times. Then there was a shower shift. Ada voluntarily went into this cage for a moment during some downtime. Eventually, we made it back to Hull and the parsonage and shared a good meal with those hardworking junior Lutherans. And then it was off to it again. Here you can get a sense. We were most useful in between shifts of people who had signed up to help. So there was a shift that went from 9 to noon, and then right during the serving of that meal, that noon, where things are happening fast, there's a changeover in people, and that's where our kids did pretty amazing at keeping the ship going for this transition time when people show up and have no clue what to do. They, by this time, were experts, and it was really cool to see what they were up to. Then we went to Lake Pahoja and had a good little afternoon and early evening even, spending time with one another and having some fun. We brought the blow-up kayak, and we picked up Dylan and put him in there, and he was an adventurer in this space. Lots of stuff going on in the sand, taking the bike path, going for walks, and playing coob in the sand. That's Silas's favorite game these days. Colin got in on the action as well on the kayak, and so did Maddie, Ada, and Greta at the same time. They went on a walk. It was great time spent together. We are so thankful for our congregation for supporting these kids with everything that they got to do right here in the local area and